Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist. I own 53 units of real estate and I help coach people to buy their first multifamily deal. So today I want to talk about slow money wealth and fast money wealth. So slow money wealth is kind of a lot of what I have, which is income from real estate. So cash flow from real estate, principal pay down from real estate, and appreciation from real estate. And this takes a little bit over time. And sometimes, like my properties, if I'm being honest, a lot of my single family homes in California, they're kind of break-even properties, but where the wealth is kind of made is through principal pay down, which increases your net worth, and then it's through market appreciation, which increases your net worth. But the downside of slow wealth is that it doesn't pay the bills today. So that's kind of where fast wealth and fast money goes into play. So for me, my fast money is going to be my W-2 job. It's going to be my side business. And the cash flow, cash flow is so variable in my real estate portfolio. I have a video talking about it, but my portfolio was hit during the recession. Obviously more evictions, more non-payments, increasing the expenses between property tax, which goes up, insurance goes up, repairs and labor goes up. So everything just goes up. And that decreases your NOI, which decreases your cash flow. And real estate goes through seasons and cycles, right? So I'm kind of seeing now that evictions have gone up probably the past 3 to 4 months, and as a result, we have to do make readies for the units, which requires maybe $2,000 to $4,000 of make readies, depending on if you renovate the unit before, and then that's additional expense. And then you have vacancy, so your income is less. So it's kind of getting hit in multiple ways. So that's the importance when you own real estate, that you have reserves, whether that's cash, brokerage accounts, which are liquid, lines of credits that you can use, and that you have some sort of active income coming in. So I finally get why a lot of the big real estate YouTubers, so think about Brandon Turner, Pace Morby, Thatch Nguyen, maybe own like $100 million of real estate, but they still very much have an active income business. Pace does coaching, Thatch does coaching, and Brandon kind of some sort of coaching on the side. And basically they use that money to probably float their portfolio during the tough times when, like I said, there's higher vacancies. And that's why a lot of syndicators are getting burned right now, because they thought that they were going to cash out refinance of an exit strategy at maybe 5-6%, but it's maybe 7-8%. The apartment space is getting hit with, like you said, with the job market being what it is, and unemployment being higher, and you own C-class apartments, or any type of apartment, people want to save money and downsize. So you might go from A class to B class, B class to C class, C class to mobile home park to potentially needing like a voucher, like Section 8. So like once you kind of go down that path, it starts to get more challenging and difficult, right? Like people have to be evicted, and depending on what state you're in, it could be hard to evict. In Huntsville and or Alabama and Oklahoma, it's pretty easy to evict. Like in Oklahoma, I can evict someone in 14 days. I think Alabama's, I think it's like 30 days, something like that. And then from there, it's just really, you're hit with lower income and higher expenses. So like that's why a lot of syndicators are getting burnt, and there's basically zero distributions to their investors. So obviously now we're starting to feel the pressure in the multifamily space. So if you survive, then you can find a good deal. But that's exactly why I didn't burr my 26 unit, because I obviously could have put out a lot more money out of it. I could have put out my down payment, could have put out my renovation costs, but I would have given me a bigger loan payment, which would put me at a bigger risk if times got bad like it is now. But because my loan is still the original loan of $2,000 a month, I'm not as stressed, right? Maybe it's like break even, maybe it's a little bit negative, but it's not cash flow positive. So like I said, now that I've like built up so much like slow wealth, I'm now trying to pivot to build more like fast money, fast wealth, which is going to be through business. So that's going to be maybe a real estate agent, maybe you become a wholesaler, Maybe you do fix and flips. Like for me, I'm probably not going to do fix and flips. So my only options are probably wholesaling or becoming a real estate agent. That's going to be probably the options and route that I go down. I'm probably leaning towards a real estate agent because it doesn't require as much capital to get started. Obviously wholesaling, you have to set up your systems and send out mailers, cold calls, cold texts, cold emails. But if you're an agent, you literally just can create content organically and do word of mouth and network, and which I kind of built up already. And when you sell a house, there's no expense, and you get, like, especially in California, $30,000 commission checks. So, for me, that's kind of the route that I'm leaning towards. It's just kind of like low overhead and high upside potential. And you just have to be consistent with, like, your follow-up and whatnot. So that's something that I've been pivoting on. Obviously my W-2, if I stay as a pharmacist and within the pharmacy realm, I'm pretty much capped out already. I've pretty much made the most I probably can make, besides 1 or 2 unicorn jobs. But I would have to step into, like, some type of, like, administrative role, C-suite role. But obviously it's a lot harder, for multiple reasons. Number one, I'm a bit younger, so it's a little harder. Number two is that you need connections, which is obviously I struggle with that, but obviously I can fix that. And number three is that in healthcare they usually want, like, and I hate to say it, but like older white people with the gray hair, someone who's more seasoned, right? It's very rare to see millennial Asian guy who's within the C-suite. If being honest, sucks. I don't agree with it, but that's just kind of what I've seen. And I've been at multiple hospitals. I've interviewed at multiple hospitals, and usually if you interview C-suite, it's very rare to see someone like me, right? My age and my skin tone. So that's just the reality of it, right? And I get it, right? And it's a blessing and a curse, and that's why I don't try to depend on W-2. That's why I'm more focused on, like, another side business, because that's within my control. I control how much money I make through my side hustle and through my side business. So, that's something that I've been really considering, right? And don't know when I'll pull the trigger, but I basically know that I have to do pre-licensing if I want to become a real estate agent. And then I'd have to take the exam. So the pre-licensing is online. It's probably $500. The exam, if I do enough practice exams and I study for, maybe 1 or 2 weeks really focused, I could probably pass the exam. It's not that difficult. I'm typically good at taking tests. As you can tell, I'm a pharmacist. And then from there, it's just really, basically the hard part is getting the clients that trust you and want to use you, because the job itself as a realtor isn't hard. The hardest part is getting a serious buyer who will close on the deal, because a lot of people are flippant. A lot of people want to buy a home, but chicken out at the last minute. And for me, I know that would irritate me because I hate time wasters. But welcome to becoming a real estate agent. If you do well and you're the top 1%, yeah, you could make a decent money out of this. So yeah, like I said, that's something that I'm considering, because I already know how to underwrite deals, and I like real estate. Like, I think it'd be great for creating content. It doesn't make sense for me to fix and flip in California. The price points are just too high. If I was, like, living in Oklahoma, I probably would do fix and flip. Or I was living in Huntsville, Alabama, I probably would do fix and flips. But if I'm in California, it just doesn't make sense for me. So that's why it's wholesaling, and then it's becoming a realtor, right? And then maybe a combination of the two. But realistically, it's becoming a realtor. So that's kind of more about, like, that quick money. So it's constantly a balance between slow money and fast money. So I obviously over-indexed on slow money, but fast money is the one that gives you lifestyle, right? Like, if I, like, literally sold 2 homes a month, and let's just say each home gave me $30,000 because I'm selling, $1 million plus homes in California, that's $60,000 a month. And let's say after taxes, whatever, let's just call it 20%. Let's just call it 20K. So I have $40,000 a month. And then let's say my primary residence is paid off. Like, I don't even know how to spend that money, right? Like, I would, like I said, would have low overhead. I wouldn't have an official office. You might have to pay a broker unless I become a broker myself and I just have a home office. It's totally doable for me to do that. And, I don't really care to have agents underneath me unless it's my wife or family members. And yeah, like if I sell 2 homes a month, I mean, that sounds easier than it is, but that's $60,000 minus 20 for taxes. That's $4K a month net. And I'm like, that's double what me and Christine make right now, from W2. So I'm like, wow, like I don't even know how to spend that money. Cause like Christine and I, we're pretty simple living. Like we don't need to spend a lot of money to have joy. And, we do nice things, but we also do like simple things that make money. So like we're very simplistic in that way. So I was just like, wow, if I can just sell 2 homes a month, I would have enough money I don't even know what to do with. And obviously if I'd made $40,000 net a month, that would trump my portfolio significantly, right? And it's more guaranteed money. So I could basically use that money to basically buy more real estate or pay down my real estate debt. So that's why I've been really focusing on like building active income. So it's kind of a weird game. Like I was building active income, then I built passive income, and then now I'm trying to build active income even bigger, right? And I think a lot of people, it's hard because you have to focus on one thing at a time. So like I was focused on passive income and I built that, or passive wealth, I built that, and now I'm repivoting to building active wealth. And what skill sets makes most sense of that? So for me, I was trying to do mentorship. I was trying to do social media. And maybe eventually I'm going to become a realtor. It's all kind of connected. So that's kind of really what I've learned as I've went through the process and, built up that slow wealth. Like slow wealth doesn't pay the bills today, but it'll pay the bills, 20, 30 years from now. But I need something that can pay the bills today. And right now it's my W-2. And I'd hope to step away from my W-2. So for me, it's becoming like a real estate agent. And, I get it's hard, but, like I said, I think becoming a realtor is very simple and easy to do it, but it's hard to like become the top 1% because you have to do it for a long period of time. You have to be consistent. And, you have to like do a good job and get referrals. Because like I said, everyone knows a realtor. Everyone's mom and uncle is a realtor because it's easy, but it's hard to like sell two a month, right? Consistently. So anyways, thanks for listening to the rant. If you want to join my school community in a free trial, you want one-on-one coaching, mentorship, you want to send me an email, join my newsletter, click my link tree. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you next one. Thank you so much.